Still owing us reparations. You haven't paid the reparations because the white people owe us. They are what they are because of the sweat and the blood of African people. All of this Johannesburg you see with big buildings, these were not built by white people. They were built by our parents who were exploited, who were not paid anything, who were treated like slaves. So we want reparations because we are being owed. Those who have not paid our great parents, they shall pay us on behalf of our great grand. Kernama China, you killed the father of my father, the father. So we are still on that thing that our great fathers and mothers fought for. It has not been achieved.
Until those parties and individuals that are responsible for this behavior come forth and humble yourself on your knees. On your knees. On your knees. Do you see me? I am the queen of Egypt. I am the queen of ancient Kemet. Do you see me? On your knees.
Still owing us reparations. You haven't paid the reparations because the white people owe us. They are what they are because of the sweat and the blood of African people. All of this Johannesburg you see with big buildings, these were not built by white people. They were built by our parents who were exploited, who were not paid anything, who were treated like slaves. So we want reparations because we are being owed.
Very good.
Those who have not paid our great parents,
Very good, young people.
They shall pay us.
Very good, young people. Don't be afraid, beloved. Stand on the truth. Trust the truth.
They shall pay us on behalf of our great grand. Kernama China, you killed the father of my father, the father. So we are still on that thing that our great fathers and mothers fought for. It has not been achieved. We remain a conquered nation, but we refuse to die a conquered nation. We are fighting because we are children of warriors. Our great grandfathers were never cowards. They fought the armed soldiers of Britain with spears only and killed many of them. So we come from those types of people. We are not barbaric. They say when we sing, kill the poor, kill the farmer, you will go and kill poors. But our people sang this song when they were very angry, but they never killed them. We are angry, but not like those who came before us. We have no reason to kill them. We are just telling them through song, we don't like you because you killed our parents and stole our land. So fast, Sibram Kondo Halaye. Shoot to kill, Umasa. Shoot to kill them. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Burr pa, pa, burr pa, pa. Attention.
Ancestral power. Reparations now. Reparations is justice. Separation now. Separation is peace.
Still owing us reparations. You haven't paid the reparations because the white people owe us. They are what they are because of the sweat and the blood of African people. All of this, Johannesburg, you see, with big buildings, these were not built by white people. They were built by our parents who were exploited, who were not paid anything, who were treated like slaves. So we want reparations because we are being owed.
Very good.
Those who have not paid our great parents,
very good, young people.
They shall pay us.
Very good, young people. Don't be afraid, beloved. Stand on the truth. Trust the truth. The truth shall set you free. Stand on it, beloved. The truth is worth dying for. Never forget that. The truth is worth dying for. Stand on your square. Stand on your truth. Stand on the sacred, divine African people's truth.
On behalf of our great Kirnama China, you killed the father of my father, the father. So we are still on that thing that our great fathers and mothers fought for. Yeah. It has not been achieved. Exactly. We remain a conquered nation. Yes. But we refuse to die a conquered nation. We are fighting because we are children of warriors. Yes. Our great grandfathers were never cowards.
Yes.
They fought the armed soldiers of Britain with spears only and killed many of them.
Yes.
So we come from those types of people.
Exactly.
We are not barbaric.
Exactly.
They say when we sing, kill the poor, kill the farmer, you will go and kill poors. But our people sang this song when they were very angry, but they never killed them.
Exactly.
We are angry, but not like those who came before us.
Mercy.
We have no reason
Can we say
to
mercy?
kill them. We are just telling them through song, we don't like you because you killed our parents and stole our land.
There you go. Right, that part. See? That part. Time for some juju. Here we go.
Shoot to kill, come on, song. Shoot to kill on. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer.
Time for some juju. Here we go.
Shoot to kill, come on, song. Shoot to kill on. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer.
CNN host Don Lemon is catching major flack online for this exchange made on air about colonial reparations. Let's watch.
Those who are asking for reparations for colonialism, and they're wondering, $100 billion, $24 billion here and there, $500 million there. Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa. And when across the entire world, when the slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages. Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
It's an interesting discussion, Hillary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, let me stop right there. Okay, so I agree with her that all parties that were involved in slavery, should be held accountable. Absolutely. But the way in which she's setting it up is though she's literally trying to put it all on Africa. Okay, and what we ain't fixing to do is play dumb. See, we ain't gonna do that. But if she wants to sit here and put that out to the world and pretend that she really believes what she's saying, because she knows she doesn't believe that. Okay, yes, Africa was involved. This is a fact. There are many countries that were involved in slavery. But the Europeans, the Spaniards, the Dutch, the French, the Germans, it's just a long list. Now, how can you overlook all the other people that were involved? You're just the mere expression right here on your face, like you look as though you got caught in the middle of a car passing and it accidentally bumped you like a deer, like you look like surprised, like, I know I don't really believe this, but I'm going to go on record saying it anyway. But anyway, here we go. Stop playing.
It's an interesting discussion, Hillary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Don is like, what did she just say? Stop the madness, girl. Okay? See, like, I don't know when they terminated Don Lemon from his job at CNN after this interview. It probably wasn't very long, because they did the same thing many years ago to Arsenio Hall when he allowed Mr. Farrakhan to come on his show. That was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So, you would think, well, with Don Lemon, being that he's a part of the LGBTQ, but nevertheless, he's still a black male, but he is a part of the LGBTQ, that, well, maybe that would get him a pass. Didn't get him a pass. He did this interview. They said, boy. So good for you, Don Lemon, that you even went out like Blaze and Johnny Blaze. Bravo! 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 Good for you.
Let's get right into it. Joining us now to weigh in is Newsweek contributor and business consultant Denise Long. Denise, I know you're fired up about this subject. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So tell us what you made of this clip. I think you disagree with.
Hold on. Hold your horses, Nelly. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me check. Okay, let's see if we can get some volume here.
Contributor and business consultant.
All right, there we go.
Let's get right into it. Joining us now to weigh in is Newsweek contributor and business consultant Denise Long. Denise, I know you're fired up about this subject. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So tell us what you made of this clip. I think you disagree with the guest.
Yeah, I think it was a shit show. I think it was colonizers and those responsible for exceptional crimes against humanity around the globe to wash their hands and place blame completely elsewhere. So my take on this is that perhaps Don ran out of time, let's hope, and or he didn't have a response to this egregious bastardization of accountability. So for me, as a seventh generation American descendant of slaves, my thought on this is really that all parties are responsible, including if we're able to locate and find the Africans who were responsible for trading their people into slavery, but we also know exactly where to find the Brits and those who continue to live high off the hog from slave labor. And it's amazing to me that this woman talks about the 2,000 people who died to make right egregious 300-year history as them getting reparations, because we already know that the British spent what is equivalent to 17 trillion, is it billion in reparations to the slave owners once the slave trade was finally abolished in 1807 in Britain. So they don't get a pass for ending what they shouldn't have been involved with in the first place. Nobody told them to go buy enslaved people.
Yeah, this argument is really interesting to me, and I talk about it a little bit in my radar today, that somehow the existence of people who sold other people into slavery cuts off the responsibility of people who actively participated and profited handsomely from a slave trade for years. If I were to buy a defective car that someone then recklessly drives into me, the law doesn't say that I'm not allowed to hold a reckless driver responsible just because there was also a defect. There's something called, shared liability here, contributory negligence here. The other thing that I do feel like I really must correct is that people have been saying this a lot. England 100% was not the first country to ban slavery. Haiti was. Haiti had a slave revolt. It was not ended at the benevolence of the white overlords. Haitians rose up and freed themselves, and as a consequence has been punished harshly by the international community, which saw that as a real threat to their slavery across the world,
that was
their
a really
colonies.
Bloody incident, though.
Yes, it was.
They killed all the white people on the island.
Yeah, they killed all the people who were enslaving them, correct, on the island, which happens in New Orleans.
Girl,
revolution when we threw up.
Gone, girl, gone. I like how you did that. You got right on to it. Okay, you tried to throw a curveball in there. You said, boop, keep going. Exactly. They got rid of all of the people that were there in Haiti, meaning white folks, to enslave them. They murdered all of them. Perfect. So, okay. Here we go.
Killed all the people who were enslaving them, correct, on the island, which happens in war, and it's something that we celebrate in the context of the American Revolution when we threw off our colonial overlords. And Haitians obviously have the right to self-determination and do that as well, and is very much celebrated by enslaved people across the world. And it was our colonial overlords, and Haitians obviously have the right to self-determination and do that as well, and is very much celebrated by enslaved people across the world, and it was an inspiration to the abolitionist movement here in the United States. And here's an important point, and I want you to respond to this as well. After that happened, Haiti paid to France reparations in the amount of 112 million francs to France. So, I mean, what do you make of this return to this theme that it is the people who were enslaved that have all the responsibility here in terms of paying reparations in these kinds of contexts?
So France needs to pay that money back with interest. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we know the ways France has been involved with subverting and, let's go ahead and call it assassinating leaders on the African continent, and how that has also slowed, been a barrier to growth and development there. Yet there's this narrative going around that people are trying to sell, especially as reparations in America and with CARICOM increases its momentum and its public support, both among the descendants of the enslaved, as well as among regular folk who understand that when you build a nation based on slave wealth and you deprive those people of citizenship rights, wealth accumulation, and the like, you are indebted to those people to repair the harm that has been caused if we are ever going to get to a state of peace and reconciliation. And I just want to correct something that I said earlier.
Absolutely. Okay, which is what I've said and have several videos, recent and many in the past, okay? There's no way that you can brush this under the rug. It just ain't going down like that. There's nothing in the world, in the universe, that would allow it to go down like that. Even if, let's say, all the black people just, said, okay, to hell with it, it just still ain't going to go down like that. Because it's just divine intervention and karma. You have to, whatever you put out in the universe, it comes back. That applies to everyone. No one gets a pass. You can buy out, as I said in a video yesterday morning, you can pay off all of the judges, or you can even buy the whole damn courthouse. Okay, buy the presidents and all of that. And still, the way that it works is it's a very spiritual, it's a higher level of justice than what we are, acknowledging that, is going on this earth. There's a higher level of justice. So anyway, here we go.
You are indebted to those people to repair the harm that has been caused if we are ever going to get to a state of peace and reconciliation. And I just want to correct something that I said earlier. I said no one told them to go and purchase slaves. That's actually not true. The Catholic Church was heavily involved, the Church of England and the like, and actually issued papal bulls, letters from the Pope, edicts from the Pope, saying go forth and colonize Africans, Muslims, and Native Americans and the rest of the Western Hemisphere in order to take their lands for the glory of their version of Christ. So there's multiple elements of accountability here, top to bottom, left to right.
Very good, beloved.
Yeah, look. So my hang up here with the whole kind of reparations discourse, look, if you can demonstrate that if you are a descendant, maybe a more direct descendant, a child, grandchild, great-grandchild, great-great-great-grandchild of slaves, and there's a specific, the enslavers and still have wealth in their estate, then I could see why maybe you're owed something from them. When you get into the realm of
even when you sit down and you break that down in the way in which you broke it down, you're going to throw an adjective in there like maybe. See, this is the stuff that what it's doing is prolonging peace on earth and escalating violence on earth. That's just going to just explode beyond anybody's imagination of anything that we've ever seen on the earth, on the face of the earth. It's simply, that's what this is breeding, is just the extreme violence. So, you put in those maybes and what ifs and perhaps and could be's and all of this stuff. Bad decision, bad choice of words. You need to go choose some better semantics. Anyway, here we go.
Entire society owes everyone of a certain ethnicity or some independent of their circumstances. That's when I think most people or many people say, well, now we're just talking about a general transfer of wealth.
So let me stop right here and interject this piece as well. When you say, you have to go and prove if you are a offspring, your grandfather or great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, etc., if they were enslaved or any of these things, then maybe, that's when you use that maybe word, you are entitled to something. Let us talk about that for a minute. First of all, why don't your people release our records, our documents? Why are you all holding our documents, the census documents, when you all went around from house to house, home to home, documenting who was in the home, what was the name of the children, what was their ages, and today you have the audacity to have that up on websites like Ancestry.com and all these other websites, genealogy, whatever, charging black people hundreds of dollars, even recent in the past several years, upwards of 1,000, probably even more, for them to find out
where their family tree started and who is in the tree and how far back, it goes, and what's their names, and, who were they enslaved to or whatever. You all are holding those records hostage and making Black people pay for them. And some of these sites are not the most, they don't have the highest level of morals. And so you don't really know if they're sharing the correct information with you or not. Okay, so the question is, why is it that you all are housing and harboring and holding hostage our records? If you don't have anything to worry about, unask the records. Release the records. Release the records, okay, to their rightful owners. Each family that you keep sending these emails to every other week or whatever, trying to advertise to them to come and sign up on this website to learn about this, your family, whatever the last name that whatever Black person gets the email, the Jones family or the Morgan family, the Floyd family, whatever, okay? You're sending these emails around, okay, because you have the records. So release the records. If you have nothing to worry about or be concerned about, release all the records. Why should we have to pay to find out that information when you all stole us and placed us in chattel slavery? And you went around documenting how many people were in our family and everyone's name and age, and you held on to that information and refused to let us know that that information even existed for centuries, at least the last 200 years. How many of us knew that you all even had all of this information? I don't think we knew that in the 1960s. Maybe we did, but I doubt it. And you kept it as you've kept many of our belongings, okay? So these are questions that you all need to answer. Okay, because then when you answer that question, you will skip over the maybes and the buts and the what ifs and perhaps and all of these things. And you'll get right down to the nitty gritty of, yes, this is who you are. This is who your family, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great grandfather, your great 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 grandfather, your great 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 grandmother, etc. was. And this is who they work for, and this, that, and the other. Stop playing. Release the records, and then you will find out, the world will find out, whether it's about just, transferring some wealth, as you put it, okay, as you loosely put it, as opposed to these individuals were enslaved by your community, and this is the persons or the parties or the names of the parties that were responsible for this situation. See, you don't have to, leave it out there with a cliffhanger. Just release the records. Do that.
Well, now we're just talking about a general transfer of wealth independent of any legacy of slavery.
Well, what about the crown?
I'm not going to defend the monarchy. I wasn't even defending the monarchy. You made me sound like I was defending it because you were defending what that crazy professor said. But no, the crown should end and give that wealth back to whoever. I don't care. But that's different than...
Okay, well, now, come on now, white boy. Okay, now, give it up. Okay, yeah. The monarchy, Queen Elizabeth and her peoples, absolutely. Absolutely. That's when y'all took my damn channel down, by the way.